Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Stuart Field for today's women's lacrosse matchup. This is a Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference matchup between the visiting Cornell College Rams and your Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. Illinois Tech and the NCAA promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and the officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or other abusive comments and actions directed at the officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and may be grounds for removal from Stuart Field. Fans, a reminder, permission to enter the field or the bench areas are restricted to student athletes, coaches, game officials, game day staff, and authorized personnel. Unauthorized individuals violating this policy will be subject to removal from Stuart Field. And now let's meet our starting lineups first for the visiting Rams. A first-year midfielder from Brattleboro, Vermont, number 4, Ava Ferencz. Junior attacker from Omaha, Nebraska, number 7, Haley Sealer. Senior midfielder from Santa Fe, New Mexico, number 9, Meg Lewis. Junior defender from Chaska, Minnesota, number 12, Ilsa Jeffrey. Senior defender from Morton, Illinois, number 13, Tess Cooper. Senior attacker from Mundelein, Illinois, number 14, Cece Zanoni. First-year midfielder from Chicago, Illinois, number 15, Natalie Hudgens. Junior midfielder from San Diego, California, number 18, Sabrina Abanez. Senior defender from Chicago, Illinois, number 19, Elisafe Moreno. A fifth year from Ingleside, Illinois, number 24, Cheyenne Greenwald. Sophomore defender from Germantown, Illinois, number 25, Madeline Sheets. And in goal for the Rams, a junior from Waukesha, Wisconsin, number 99, Hannah Meach. The Rams are coached by head coach Meredith Meyer, in her 10th year, assistant coach Lizzie Ott. And now the starting lineups for your Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. A sophomore defender from Fort Worth, Texas, number 2, Aisha Leatherwood. A junior attacker from Corvallis, Oregon, number 5, Iona Pettigrew. First-year midfielder from Tbilisi, Georgia, number 6, Victoria Akurtava. A sophomore midfielder from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, number 10, Izzy Niebler. A senior midfielder from Chicago, Illinois, number 11, Chloe Browder. Sophomore midfielder from Parker, Colorado, number 12, Ellie Post. Senior midfielder from Henderson, Nevada, number 14, Lucy Georgiorian. A first-year midfielder from Chicago, Illinois, number 17, Nayeli Samano. A first-year midfielder from Bennington, Vermont, number 19, Aislinn McManus. In goal for the Scarlet Hawks, a graduate student from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, number 20, Mercy Godfrey. And a junior attacker from Atlanta, Georgia, number 22, Tony Martinez. The Scarlet Hawks are coached by head coach Emily Wisoki in her first season, assistant coach Shayna Hecht. And now, fans, would you all please rise, remove your hats if you're wearing any, as we honor America for the playing of our national anthem. Mackenzie. So get photos of everyone that's not 5'22" or 10. We have a lot of photos of them. We don't have many photos of the others. So if you get a few of them, fine, but focus your majority of them on 17, 2, 11, so just we have a ton of Tony and Iona and Izzy. All right, thank you. Our officials for today's match: head umpire Erica Prahl, umpire 1 Joseph Bruno, umpire 2 Chloe Bruno. And hello, everyone, and welcome into Stuart Field here on the campus of the Illinois Institute of Technology, where today we'll have a women's lacrosse matchup in the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference between the visiting Cornell College Rams and your Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks. Hello, everyone. This is Eric Willowhite, the Sports Information Director for Illinois Tech Athletics, bringing you the call on today's action. The Rams are 5-7 overall. I'm going to check that record, but they're 5-0 in conference play. The Scarlet Hawks are 0-5, 1-12 on the season. Scarlet Hawks in their home white will be going right to left to start things off from your viewing screen, and the Rams will be going left to right in their road purple with white numerals. Illinois Tech still has the ball, 25 seconds on the shot clock. They won the opening draw. Now Tony Martinez has it on the near side with 18 seconds on that shot clock. Martinez looking for a lane. She wants to get that shot off. Double team, spins to the outside, now triple teamed, and only 8 seconds on the shot clock. She's either going to have to roll it down or find an outlet. She finds Ellie Post, but Post unable to come up with the ball, and then we have a shot clock violation against Illinois Tech. So not unusual for 22 in white to be double teamed or triple teamed, as she is the Hawks' leading scorer by a long margin with 34 goals on the season. And a ball kicked around to the circle, and a ground ball pickup there for Victoria Arkatava, getting it over to Martinez, who spins away from trouble, and then she's pressured. Ball is loose, and it looks like the Rams might come up with it. No, Martinez does. And then she gets it back over to Niebler, trying to keep it inside the zone. She will. It does not roll out. So good job there by Martinez to avoid the pressure and then at least get a release outlet over to Niebler. And a nice ground ball pickup there by Akartava to get the Hawks back in the offensive zone. Here's Niebler on the near side. Niebler, the Hawks' second leading scorer with 11 points, 8 goals, 3 assists. She converted from defense to offense this past season, and she's really come on as the season's progressed here as she's developing her offensive game. Now Niebler will get it up high to Ellie Post. Akartava Hawks working it around the perimeter as the Rams are doing a good job of keeping the Hawks outside of the attack. So now Post cuts in, bounce shot, and a save made by Meach. So first save of the day for Hannah Meach. And now we get a clear for Cornell. Sabrina Ibanez comes in. She feeds it, and a shot score. Ibanez feeding it over to Haley Sealer. And Sealer puts it in the net for the 1-0 lead for the Rams. Cornell goal scored by number 7, Haley Sealer. Assist number 18, Sabrina Ibanez. So Sealer from Ibanez, and the Rams, off of that save made by Meach, they transitioned into offense quickly. And Ibanez did most of the work, bringing it inside the zone, getting the clear for Cornell, and then finding Sealer to her right. And Sealer didn't miss, put it in the back of the net for a 1-0 lead. We have 11:06 remaining here in the first period. 1-0 Cornell as Martinez gets it into Rams territory, looking now below the restraining line, and she'll take it wide. Now over to Ellie Post. Post with a drop to Akatava. Over to Izzy Niebler. Here's Pettigrew. So Pettigrew in on the offensive attack now, along with Lucy Georgiorian, who's played a few games in the depth situation with the Hawks. Are only dressing 11 today. In the game against Aurora, they only had 9 healthy players, so it's been a struggle with the depth on the team, and Lucy Georgiorian able to join the fray today, at least get them up to 11. Now a toss over to Georgiorian, and she's battling for that loose ball. And still battling, and then it's knocked into the midfield zone, and that's going to be picked up by Ibanez. Here's Ibanez on another rush. Ibanez now cutting to her right. She's double-teamed. And looks like we're going to get a foul there on Aislinn McManus. This could be a free position shot. No, Illinois Tech ball. So they're going to say that was a charge actually on Ibanez, so they gave her the foul. So now Mercy Godfrey is going to look for an outlet here. She's going to bring it up high. Got to be careful here, though. Don't want to go too high. And we got a steal. So now Godfrey's got to get into that net. Martinez trying to help. And somehow Godfrey's able to get the save on that steal by Natalie Hudgens. And she got the shot off, but Godfrey able to make the save, but it's Cornell ball inside the attack zone for the Rams. And cutting through is CC Zanoni, and then a shot and a score. It looks like that's Ibanez, 18, who got the goal. Cornell goal scored by number 18, Sabrina Ibanez. Assist number 14, CC Zanoni. So Ibanez with the goal. She's got a goal and an assist here. And Zanoni picked up the assist on the goal by Ibanez, and it's a 2-0 lead for Cornell. 8:42 to go here in the first quarter. Doubleheader action here on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network as men's lacrosse will be taking on the Rams at around 4 o'clock. It's senior day for men's lacrosse. Women's lacrosse will have their senior day next Saturday against Lawrence. And the men will have theirs against the Rams this afternoon. Game time around 4 o'clock, but we'll bring you live coverage of the senior day festivities as well. And we'll do the same next Saturday for women's lacrosse. It's an early game next Saturday. That's an 11 a.m. game. So we'll be starting senior festivities probably around 10:30 or so. Rams inside the zone. Good job avoiding pressure there was Ava Ferenc. And now Zanoni. Zanoni lobs it in, but nice defensive play there by Izzy Niebler to knock the ball down. Cornell will pick it back up, however. They'll reset the shot clock. But Niebler knocked that ball out inside the shooting space and got the ground ball initially, but then lost it after getting some pressure. So good job by Tenon White on that sequence. Just unable to hold on to it after she picked up the ground ball. We got a player go down. They're going to get looks like a foul on Illinois Tech there. Pick your poison. That was either Nayeli Samano or Lucy Georgiorian, probably Georgiorian. And now the ball back in play. Going wide is Cheyenne Greenwald. She's up high, top of the arc. Greenwald, and drops it off up high. Over to Zanoni. Zanoni feeding it inside, and another defensive play there, that time by, looks like Ellie Post, who knocked that one away, and she gets it over to goaltender Mercy Godfrey. And now Godfrey, again, this is where the Hawks had a problem last time, is they didn't really have a clear outlet for Godfrey, and she gets the pass over to Niebler. Niebler gets it to Pettigrew. Nice job by Niebler, and a great reception by Pettigrew. And Iona, one of the faster players on the Hawk, gets the clear. Then she cuts in and finds Akurtava. Now the pass over to Martinez. So a nice job by the Hawks there as Godfrey got it over to Niebler. Niebler with a nice pass threading the needle over to Pettigrew on the run, and then she took it upfield for the clear. Now here's Niebler. And again, over the last couple games, Pettigrew has been in that offensive zone. There she is again. She threw it on net. And a save made there by Meach. So Pettigrew had a hat trick in her previous game last Saturday at Marion. Actually, her previous game against Aurora. Izzy Niebler got the lone goal in that match. But against Marion last Saturday, Pettigrew got her first career hat trick. And again, they're utilizing her more in the offensive zone, as Coach Wisoki has to be creative with her player usage and who's playing where, knowing that they don't have any reserves. They're playing down one short today. They're down 3 on Wednesday against top-ranked Aurora. That's not a recipe for success. And now they're going to get a foul there on Zanoni, so Niebler will get the ball on the restart for the Hawks, and she tried to get it over to Pettigrew. Now Samano will pick it up. Nayeli Samano hands it back to Niebler. Niebler quickly double-teamed, looking to get out of danger, and she moves her way upfield. Looking for an outlet, and she finds Martinez. Martinez quickly changes hands to avoid the pressure there coming from Ilisafe Moreno. But Moreno right on her, and now the pass goes to Ellie Post, back to Martinez on the near side. Pass missing connection with Pettigrew, but Niebler there to pick up the loose ball. Now back up high to Pettigrew. Pettigrew unable to make that catch, and now upfield they go. That is Meg Lewis. Lewis getting it over to Cheyenne Greenwald. Greenwald with a spin move on the outside. Now she's going to look to set it up high. And that's Ibanez. Ibanez over to Ferenc. Back to Lewis. Over on the far side they come to Zanoni. Zanoni tried to drop it in. Initial pressure there from Niebler. Niebler staying with her tough. And now she'll go up high. Pass inside. Oh, that one hit the left post. On the shot by Cornell, and now Pettigrew picks up the ball, and she's going to bring it into the attack zone. Here's Iona Pettigrew. Being tracked there by Tess Cooper. She'll cut to the inside, does Pettigrew, and then tried to pass, but Cooper was on her. But Akurtava picked up the ball and gets it to Martinez, who will slow it down for the Hawks. And now Niebler will slowly work her way into the offensive zone as she looked to see where the numbers were before she headed into the attack zone. Pettigrew on the far side over to Niebler. Behind the net. Now Niebler forced out. That's going to be a foul on Cornell. They'll get the ball over to Martinez. Martinez thought about doing the wraparound, passes it inside to Niebler on that design play. A little give and go, unable to make the connection, but Martinez gets the loose ball. 30 seconds on the shot clock. And then the pass intended for Niebler, unable to make the connection. That'll go out, and it'll be Cornell ball. We have 2:07 to go here in the first quarter. It's a 2-0 lead for the Rams. Here in a sunny early afternoon here in the south side of Chicago. Into the zone goes Meg Lewis. Lewis will stop, hand it off to Haley Sealer. And now Zanoni. CC Zanoni finds Ferenc. Ferenc over to Ibanez. Oh, Ibanez with the fake pass, and then she'll cut inside. Ibanez with the shot. And we're going to get a shooting space violation against the Hawks, so this will be our first free possession shot of the match. And it will be Sabrina Ibanez taking the shot for the Rams. Straight on. Mercy Godfrey looking to stop the free position attempt here. And that one goes into the lower left corner by Ibanez. She has her second goal of the match. A free position shot, and the Rams go up 3-0. Cornell goal, her second of the game, scored on the free position, number 18, Sabrina Ibanez. So it's a 3-0 lead for Cornell with 1:25 remaining in the quarter. And we'll go to the circle. It'll be Lucy Georgiorian for the Hawks against Meg Lewis for the Rams. You have Ibanez and Ferenc on the edges of the circle for the Rams, and for the Hawks, Niebler and Martinez. Ball lofted, and Ibanez still playing for it. She comes up with the ground ball, goes wide. Now McManus is trying to force her wide along with Ellie Post, and she'll go around the other side of the net. Pettigrew now tracking Ibanez and looking to hand it off to Zanoni. Here's Zanoni. She'll take it high, looking for a cut, and making the cut was Ferenc. Actually, no, that was Lewis for the moment. Ibanez cut through, now inside shot, score! Cheyenne Greenwald Cornell goal scored by number 24, Cheyenne Greenwald. Assist number 14, CC Zanoni. So Zanoni picking up the assist on the Greenwald goal. That was a nice pass inside as several players cut through. And then Greenwald was the one who was the recipient of the pass by Zanoni, spun around and fired that shot into the net for a 4-0 Cornell lead. Back to the circle we go. Georgiorian and Lewis. Ball straight up, and Lewis trying to come down with it. Niebler batting, and they're going to award it to Illinois Tech. Good job by Niebler getting into that circle to interrupt Meg Lewis there. And now Martinez into the attack zone. She's being trailed there by Ava Ferenc. 30 seconds on the clock, so that shot clock's meaningless as Martinez has to play the shot clock. Not sure she knows. It's only 16 seconds. Pass inside. Trying to get it over to Pettigrew, but the Rams pick up the ball. There's 6 seconds on the clock. Now coming up field is Ilisafe Moreno, and they're going to run out of time as she gets the ball over to Ibanez, who just crosses midfield as time expires. And we'll head to the quarter break. Cornell up 4-0 after 1. You're watching Illinois Tech Women's Lacrosse on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Back at Stuart Field, 4-0 lead for Cornell as we get ready for the start of the second quarter. Back to the circle we go. And it's Georgiorian for the Hawks and Lewis for the Rams. Straight up, ball still in play, and it's picked up by Tony Martinez, who's immediately hassled there by Sabrina Ibanez. And it looks like we get a foul on Ibanez. So actually it's a green card on Ibanez. So full 90 on the shot clock and a minute, quote, player up advantage for the Hawks, although now this just kind of brings them even since they started a player down to begin with. But technically it is a player up scenario for the next minute. Here's Martinez along the back line, feeding it inside to Niebler. Shot, score! What a pass by Martinez, threading the needle to Niebler, and Niebler gets the player up goal. Nice reception by Izzy Niebler as well, and the Hawks get on the board. It's 4-1. Illinois Tech goal scored by number 10, Izzy Niebler. Assist number 22, Tony Martinez. Player up goal for the Hawks. It's player up. Yeah. So you can't, I went through this last year because like they were down a lot of players. It's, you go by the technically, since they had a player out, it's player up. And the Hawks win the draw again. It's Niebler bringing the mail into the zone. Finds Akurtava. Victoria Akurtava over to Georgiorian. Hawks with a little jump in their step after that player-up goal. So 1-for-1 in player-up scenarios. There's Pettigrew. Pettigrew over to Akurtava. Long pass intercepted there by Natalie Hudgens on the turnover by Akurtava, and Hudgens will bring it into the zone for the clear. Hudgens getting around one defender. Now another cuts to the inside and then forced out. Gets a shot and still scores. Good persistence there by Natalie Hudgens as she got inside, then was double teamed, spun outside inside, and then got the goal unassisted. It's 5-1 Cornell. Cornell goal scored by number 15, Natalie Hudgens, unassisted. So Hudgens with the unassisted tally on the turnover from Akurtava, was trying to get that pass over to the far side, and Hudgens read that one all the way, picked it up, brought it all the way in, went coast to coast. They had to do a couple moves to get the ball past Mercy Godfrey, and she did. And the Rams get that goal right back. To the circle we go, Lewis and Georgiorian. That one goes over to Ibanez, and she's quickly into the attack zone for the Rams. Now Leatherwood trying to push her wide. She'll go behind the net. And throw it over to the near side. Inside to Hudgens. Hudgens cutting in, shooting, and scoring. Hudgens, she had to work herself back into the shooting area again to get that goal. I don't believe they're awarding an assist. So an unassisted tally for Hudgens. Back-to-back goals for Hudgens, and it's 6-1 Cornell. Cornell goal scored by number 15, Natalie Hudgens, unassisted. So back-to-back unassisted tallies by 15 in purple, and it's a 6-1 lead for Cornell. 13:10 to go here in the second quarter. As the scoreboard just updated. Well, we've had 3 goals in less than 2 minutes. One by the Hawks and 2 by Cornell. And now Cornell wins the draw. And moving it upfield is Ava Ferenc. Or Ferenc. Ferenc battling, loses the ball. And they're going to say it went out of bounds. It'll be Illinois Tech ball. That was Georgiorian on the pressure and gets it over to Akurtava. Akurtava, head pass over to Ellie Post, who spins. Nice job getting out of traffic there. And now over to Izzy Niebler, who's going to take it wide on the near side. She had the ball knocked loose, but she'll be able to pick that one up. And the Hawks will set in the offensive zone over to Akurtava. Victoria Akurtava, first-year player out of Tbilisi, Georgia. Here's Martinez on the far side. Little pick set there by Georgiorian, but she's picked up by Ferenc. Yeah, it's tough sledding for Tony Martinez as she tried to spin that one inside the shooting zone. Now the ball is loose. Who's going to pick it up? Several players battling for it. And they're going to get a foul on Martinez. So Martinez turned it over, trying to get the pass on the inside, but then she knocked the ball loose, and now Ibanez carries it over the midfield stripe. Leatherwood now will come out and press. Oh, and a cut by Ibanez. Leaves Leatherwood in the dust, but she regroups as Ibanez goes behind the net once more. Yeah, Leatherwood came out wide to pressure Ibanez, and then she just did the cut, but she wasn't heading towards the net anyways. They had a set play. They want to get it over to the near side. Here's the Nino. A loft inside to Ferentz, and it looks like we're going to get a shooting space violation on the Hawks again, so a free position attempt coming up for Ava Ferentz. Ava Ferentz. Bounce shot. No, and that one, Godfrey got a piece of it, and then it rattled off the right post. So now back in play, so an unsuccessful free position shot there. And now that was either a pass or a shot, but either way it was high. But Ibanez is behind the net to restart for Cornell. Here's Zanino. Zanino with the cut through and feeding it inside as Ibanez was in the vicinity, but Pettigrew is able to pick up the loose ball, and then she'll take it upfield along the near sideline. Pettigrew gets past Hudgens. Now Pettigrew cuts to the inside, crosses midfield, finds Martinez. Martinez will slow it down, wait for some numbers inside the attack zone. Good job for Pettigrew, but Pettigrew has to catch her breath over there. And again, the Hawks playing one player down. When she goes on those breaks like that, it's good for the Hawks, but it takes a little while to regroup because she's had to do that several times today. And now she'll get it over on the near side, up high to Ellie Post. Post over to Akurtava. Akurtava, top of the arc, back to Post. 42 seconds on the shot clock, over to Pettigrew. Back to Post. Really no movement for the Hawks right now. You see Martinez and Pettigrew kind of spinning around, and now Post takes it wide over to Georgiorian. Up high to Martinez. Martinez tried to feed it inside to Niebler, but that ball was knocked away, and then it was knocked off the stick of Brower, so that'll be Cornell ball. So the Hawks unable to get a shot on that possession. And now upfield they go. Ferentz finds Zanino. Zanoni. Just making up her last name right now. Zanoni, Cece Zanoni. Behind the net, feeding it inside. Shot, score! Ava Ferentz on the assist from Cece Zanoni. And it's 7-1 Cornell. Cornell goal scored by number 4, Ava Ferentz. Assist number 14, Cece Zanoni. So another nice pass from Zanoni. She's had a few nice helpers today, setting up her teammates as they open up a 6-goal lead on the Hawks with 8.5 remaining in the second quarter. Once again in the circle, it's Georgiorian against Lewis. The usual suspects on the edges of the circle. That ball goes over to Niebler's side, and she almost overran it, but then she picks up the ground ball, so a draw control for Niebler. High pass over to Martinez. Oh, she's able to pick that ball up while going backwards. Good hand-eye coordination by 22 in white. As that was, again, a potential steal for Cornell, but Martinez was able to stay with it, backing up and receiving it, and then spinning back into the zone. Here's Niebler on the near side over to Georgiorian. Up high they go to Pettigrew. And now Post. Ellie Post to Akurtava as Niebler cuts through the paint. Now Martinez, and they're going to say it's Cornell ball. Here's Hudgens. Natalie Hudgens pass finds Ibanez. Ibanez over to Greenwald. Cheyenne Greenwald has a goal on the day. Greenwald cutting in. Greenwald shot. Save made by Godfrey as Greenwald determined to get inside and get a shot off, and she did, but Mercy Godfrey coming up with the save. Now Ellie Post will try and bring the ball upfield along that near sideline as she gets double-teamed. He gets by a couple combatants, crosses the midfield line, looking to clear, and she does. Hawks get a clear on the rush there by Post. And now we're going to get a timeout called by Illinois Tech as Coach Wisoki, as soon as the Hawks got into the attack zone, calls the timeout. We'll take it with him. It's 7-1 Cornell here on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Back at Stuart Field, Cornell has opened up a 6-goal lead on the Hawks, 7-1, with 7:01 remaining in the second quarter. Hawks have the ball. They got it into the attack zone, and Coach Wisoki called a timeout to get things set on offense. They have 69 seconds on the shot clock, and Victoria Akurtava has the ball over on the near side. On the restart, up high to Pettigrew. Pettigrew over to Georgiorian. And now to Niebler. Martinez on the far side. She got the ball just now. Spins through coverage. Pick set there by Niebler. But Martinez still has to be forced wide. Looking for a pass inside. There's Georgiorian. And she couldn't get a whole lot on it. But she did get a shot off, and making the save was Hannah Meach. And again, that's one of the challenges for the Hawks, is with Martinez being doubled and triple teamed. She hasn't really been able to get a shot off. And so she's serving as a role of the facilitator, at least so far, but that can change in a snap. Getting inside the zone, looks like we're going to get a shooting space violation on the Hawks, and that'll be Natalie Hudgens with a free position attempt. It'll be to the left of Mercy Godfrey. Here's Hudgens. She cuts through. Shoot, and a save made. She tried to go up high, and Godfrey was ready for it. Another free position save for Mercy Godfrey. Rams recovered the ground ball. As Ferns has it over on the far side, she'll get it over to Hudgens. Hudgens eludes Leatherwood and now gets around post, but gets it back to Ibanez below the goal line, feeding it inside. Oh, and trying to shoot in one motion was Ferns, but she wasn't able to square it up, and Georgiorian, battling for the loose ball, overruns it. Then it's picked back up by her numeral partner, Cece Zanoni. Knocked down by Niebler. Another great defensive play by 10 as she uses her reach to knock that one down. Zanoni feeding it inside. Shot, score. Cheyenne Greenwald on the feed from Cece Zanoni. Another assist for Zanoni and another goal for Cheyenne Greenwald. Cornell goal scored by number 24, Cheyenne Greenwald. Assist number 14, Cece Zanoni. So another goal for Cornell, and they move up to an 8-1 lead. Looking over at their bench there, I only see 2 players, and one looks to be a scratch. So the only other player dressed is 33, which is the backup goalkeeper, Layla Velez. So Cornell pretty much playing with a thin roster as well, as all the starters are the reserves, with the exception of the backup goalkeeper today, and Layla Velez. Still waiting for possession on the draw here, and it looks like nobody wants it. And then eventually they give it to Illinois Tech, so it was a long, drawn-out battle, and the Hawks are awarded the possession. Here's Martinez. Now we'll see if Martinez tries to get a little more assertive on the offensive end, trying to take matters into her own hand. Again, she can't just do it from jump, and her teammates have to set her up, but she is going to be the most marked player for the Hawks given her offensive prowess. And they know where 22 and white is, does Cornell. And now she's kind of slowly working her way in as Niebler goes around. Now she's going to go to the far side, back to her near side, far side. Lofting it inside, trying to reach Pettigrew. And Pettigrew is knocked down. They're going to say a shooting space violation on Cornell. So this could be a Pettigrew free position attempt, as she was the intended recipient from Niebler. So she'll have a straight-on free position attempt, does Iona Pettigrew. And whistle sounds. Pettigrew gets in. Shot. Save made. As Hannah Meach got in front of that one. And she picked up the ground ball and gets an outlet over to Ibanez. So quickly, nice job by Meach. Free position save. And quickly in transition goes Cornell. There's Zanoni. Inside. Shot. Score. Cece Zanoni, she said, well, I've dished out enough assists today. How about if I score myself? And she does. Zanoni with the goal, and it's a 9-1 lead for Cornell. Cornell goal scored by number 14, Cece Zanoni, unassisted. Circle we go. It'll be Lewis and Georgiorian once more. Remember that last draw took forever, and then the Hawks were eventually awarded possession as everyone was scraping around for possession there. 9-1 Cornell with 3:39 to go here in the second quarter. Niebler battling for it, and it's eventually picked up by, I think they're going to get a foul on Martinez there. Oh, and that's going to be a green card, so I think it's a dangerous play. Okay. Well, the referees don't even bother coming over to announce this over here in today's game. So green card, 1 minute for Martinez. So this will be a player-up situation for Cornell. And what do we got here? Oh, another green card. So I think it was an offsides. Niebler is getting tended to by the training staff. Akartava, I believe, got a green card as well. So 2 players down, and inside the save made by Godfrey. Here's Zanoni. Zanoni over to Ibanez, top of the arc. Ibanez finds Ferentz. Ferentz over on the far side being tracked there by Post. Now Ibanez feeds it inside to Greenwald. Ball knocked loose. Ibanez pushing it forward and is able to regain possession. And now Ibanez goes wide. Behind the net, set play here. Shot, score. And that goal coming from Haley Sealer. With an assist from Sabrina Ibanez. Cornell goal scored by number 7, Haley Sealer. Assist number 18, Sabrina Ibanez. Was the time up already, or was that player up?
Their time was just ending
as they scored? Okay. So that's what I thought. So. Yeah, so just the penalties had both expired, so it wasn't technically a player-up goal, although for all intents and purposes it was, because the two Hawk players just came on the field when Sealer scored on that nice feed from Ibanez. Scarlet Hawks win the draw, trailing 10-1 here with 1:52 to go in the second quarter. Georgiorian will wing it over to Tony Martinez over in the far side. Back to Georgiorian. Georgiorian drops it, picks it back up. Over to Ellie Post. Post quickly over to Niebler. Now Niebler with some motion. Finds Martinez, has to pick that one hot off a bounce. 40 seconds on the shot clock, 1:21 to go. As Martinez able to dance on that back line, feeding it inside, trying to reach Georgiorian, but missed connection. Ball is loose, and it looks like Hudgens picks it up for Cornell. Actually, no, I believe that's 15. No, that was 13. That was Tess Cooper. Tess Cooper with the ground ball pickup, then forced out of bounds. And we're going to get a green card on Georgiorian. So Georgiorian gets the green card, and be another player down scenario for Illinois Tech as they'll end the first quarter in the player down scenario. Going wide is Meg Lewis. Lewis has it on the top of the arc, feeding it inside, trying to reach Ferentz. 28 seconds on the game clock. Now Ibanez cutting through 3 defenders, shoots, scores. A player-up goal for Sabrina Ibanez, and she goes down grabbing her leg right after she made that shot. So the training staff for Cornell going out to take a look at Ibanez as she's in some distress over there. She went down right after shooting. So we'll take a timeout here. It's 10-1 or 11-1 Cornell over Illinois Tech. You're watching Illinois Tech Women's Lacrosse on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. So Ibanez couldn't put any weight on that right leg. She was helped off the field. She got the goal, player up goal for Cornell. 10 seconds remaining in the first half. No one has gained possession of the draw just yet, and then Meg Lewis does, as time's going to wind down here in the first half, with Cornell holding an 11-1 lead as we enter halftime. So we'll take an audio break here on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Stuart Field. It's an 11-1 lead for Cornell, the Rams over the Scarlet Hawks as we get ready to start the third quarter. I'll try and get you some first half statistics there as Cornell wins the draw and they'll bring it into the zone. Feed inside to Meg Lewis. So your team stats, Cornell, 11-1 lead. 18-5 is the shots advantage, and shots on goal 13-4. Neither team was able to score on the player up scenario, although, again, for all intents and purposes, Cornell kind of did, but not from a technical standpoint, as getting the goal on a great individual effort there was Natalie Hudgens. Hudgens gets the unassisted tally, and it's a 12-1 lead for Cornell. Again, with the 10-goal lead, it's a running clock scenario. Cornell goal scored by number 15, Natalie Hudgens, unassisted. So Hudgens with the unassisted tally. 14 ground balls for Cornell in that first half, 8 for the Scarlet Hawks. Mercy Godfrey with 5 saves, Hannah Meach with 4. 9 for 9 on clears for Cornell, 4 for 4 for Illinois Tech. 5 turnovers for the Rams, 10 for Illinois Tech. 3 caused turnovers by the Rams, 2 for Illinois Tech. The Rams had 3 minutes of penalties. This doesn't feel right. 9 minutes of penalties for Illinois Tech? That seems a lot. Anyways, it's a 12-1 lead for Cornell as they win the draw, and they're inside the attack zone as Greenwald gets it over to Ferentz. I'll give you the individual leaders as loose ball as Niebler knocks it forward over to Georgiorian. Georgiorian still fighting for it, and then Arkatava. Now Niebler, and it's awarded to Illinois Tech. So we'll go to individual leaders. Sabrina Ibanez with 3 goals. Haley Sealer with 3. Natalie Hudgens with 3, and Cheyenne Greenwald with 2. And Illinois Tech, the lone goal scored by Izzy Niebler. 12-1 is your score. And again, they did change goalkeepers, so in the net is number 2, Catherine Andres. Actually, they have both backup goalkeepers. As I saw 33 as well. So Hannah Meach's day is over for now. And I'm going to say a holding call on Elisafe Moreno. So the Hawks will get it on the restart. Izzy Niebler. Niebler, who again, she had some medical attention. They feed it inside to Martinez, and she scores! Tony Martinez on the feed from Isabel Niebler. And the Hawks get back on the board. It's now 12-2. Illinois Tech goal scored by number 22, Tony Martinez. Assist number 10, Izzy Niebler. So Tony Martinez gets on the board. A nice pass from Isabel Niebler. And it's 12-2, and the Hawks win the draw as Izzy Niebler Inside the zone again, she's being guarded there by Meg Lewis. Niebler will pull up, hand it over to Martinez on the far side. Now Akurtava, Victoria Akurtava over to Ellie Post. Back to Niebler. Akurtava now. Over to Martinez. Martinez double teamed, trying to find Niebler. Fakes the pass. Now gets it over to Post. Post up high to Akurtava. Is going to have to pick that one up as she's being pressured from behind. Back to Post. Here's Ellie Post. 30 seconds on the shot clock for Post. Post is being forced wide. And feeding it, trying to get it inside. Oh, a player tumbles down. That was number 12. That was Ilsa Jeffrey. Ball loose on that near side. Who's going to come up with it? And it looks like it's Natalie Hudgens. Hudgens goes down, but not before she gets the pass off to Zanoni. Zanoni with the clear. Here's Zanoni inside. Passes outside the reach of Cheyenne Greenwald, and then it'll go over the back line. That'll be a turnover by Zanoni. Uncaused turnover, and it'll be Illinois Tech ball. I know what she was trying to do there, but probably would have been best to just kind of slow it down, but she was on the rush and she wanted to get it over for the shot. Now here's Lucy Georgiorian coming up along the far sideline. She's going to get double teamed. She'll pull back. And then she'll throw it in the direction, but picked off by Meg Lewis. Lewis will bring it inside the attack zone. Over on the far side, they go to Tess Cooper. Up high to Ferentz. Now Lewis. Near side to Hudgens. And that shot goes wide, and that'll be Illinois Tech ball on the restart as Iona Pettigrew will pick up a ball and get things started for the Hawks. Cuts to the inside. They'll bring it to the outside. Pettigrew racing over midfield. She'll cut to the inside. Good job avoiding traffic there. Now she's picked up. And we're going to get a foul. What do we have there? That's a green card. Ava Ferentz will come off for the green card there as she dislodged Iona Pettigrew of the ball in the turf. And you can't do one of those. Post with the long bounce pass trying to reach Pettigrew. Pettigrew's got to hurry. Or not Pettigrew, Niebler. And she's able to recover it. Now Akurtava. Post to Pettigrew over on the near side. Looking for Martinez, but she was being guarded closely, so they swing it back around to the far side and Niebler. Niebler looks across the field to check on Martinez, fakes the pass. She'll slow things down, cuts to the inside, loses possession of the ball, and the ball is going to be, still loose as Martinez gets in on the action. And now Niebler still loose, and they're going to get a foul on Martinez there. So bringing the ball upfield is Ilsa Jeffrey, and she makes the pass over to Haley Sealer. Sealer now finds Zanoni. Zanoni inside, shot, score. Haley Sealer on the another assist for CC Zanoni. Cornell goal scored by number 7, Haley Sealer. Assist number 14, CC Zanoni. So Zanoni with another assist. I'm going to take a look, see where she's at with helpers. That's 4 assists for Zanoni. Actually, it should be 5 now as it's 13-2. So 5 assists for Zanoni along with a goal. That was Sealer's 3rd goal, I believe. And it's a 13-2 lead for Cornell. Yeah, 3rd goal for Sealer. 5 assists for Zanoni on the night. She's got 6 points total with a goal and 5 assists. And actually, it looks like they might get Layla Velez into the game as well. She's warming up on the sideline. She might come in for the 4th quarter. So right now, it's Catherine Andres, the senior out of Oak Park, Illinois, in net for the Rams. A lot of Illinois players on that roster for Cornell. So sort of a homecoming for many of these players. Here's Ellie Post up high. Being guarded there by Ferentz. And they're going to get a foul on Ferentz, so it'll be Post on the restart. Tried to hand it over to Akartava. They were just kind of not in sync on that one, but Akartava picks up the loose change and hands it off to Izzy Niebler. Niebler winding around, being forced wide there by Zanoni. And now she takes it all the way to the near side, back to the far side, and Tony Martinez. Martinez looking for a cut as Georgiorian cut. Now Post. Post was the intended recipient, but she wasn't able to gather that pass up out of her range, and then Pettigrew picked up the ground ball, handed it off to Niebler. Now Post. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Post going wide. Lofts it over to Martinez. Martinez is going to have to make a move here. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Tony Martinez going behind the net. She's not going to have enough time. And the shot clock winds down. She knew it. So the Hawks unable to get a shot off there as a shot clock violation. That's their 2nd of the game. And now good defense by Cornell. And they'll bring that ball upfield. Ava Ferentz crosses the midfield stripe and gets the clear for the Rams. Ferentz on the near side, racing there with Niebler. Niebler going to keep her behind the goal line. And I'm going to say Illinois Tech ball. Or no? Yeah, okay. She stepped over the back line. Good work there by Izzy Niebler. Keeping the pressure on Zanoni. Now Godfrey looking for an outlet here. Doesn't really have a clear option right now. Now she's going to go to Akartava. Akartava cut towards Godfrey, and now she'll send it back to Godfrey, who's able to corral it. But the Hawks have lost about 35 seconds on the shot clock just trying to get it upfield. They got Samano wide open to her right. Waiting for Martinez to cut, and she does. Tony Martinez through the circle, lofting it up high to Niebler. Niebler trying to get in the lane. She's going to be forced wide. Good recovery there by Cornell. And now Niebler gets her own ground ball. Finds Ellie Post, who knocks it down with her feet. That's her soccer skills coming into play. Softened the ball up and then picked it up over to Georgiorian. 12 seconds on the shot clock. That's what we talked about. They lost a lot of time. They don't have a lot of time. Arcatava finding Post. Post has to get a shot off here, just has to wing it. And again, not much on it. And the shot clock, another shot clock violation on the Scarlet Hawk. Well, they didn't signal it, but for the most part it was. They didn't signal the formal shot clock violation since the shot went wide, and it was end of the third quarter. And we'll go to the fourth quarter with Cornell leading 13-2. You're watching Illinois Tech Women's Lacrosse on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Start of the fourth quarter, it's a 13-2 lead for Cornell. We have another new goalkeeper for the Rams. It is Layla Velez checking in, the first-year player out of Belmont, California. And she'll take over net-minding duties for the Rams. The Rams up 13-2. To the circle we go. And it's a draw control for Meg Lewis, who pushes it forward. Errant pass, but it's going to be scooped up there by Cece Zanoni. And Zanoni swinging around. Ooh, that's going to be a foul on Pettigrew. If not, a green card. We'll see. That'll just be a free position attempt. Shooting space violation. Cece Zanoni will take the shot. To the right of Mercy Godfrey. Here's Zanoni. Oh, and a save made as she kind of stalled, waited for an opening, shot it between two defenders, and Godfrey is able to make the save. The Rams get the ground ball. Pass over to Ferentz was not clean, and Lucy Georgiorian able to pick up the ground ball, gets it over to Arcatava, who overran it. And now they're going to get a foul on Arcatava, as they weren't able to make that connection there as Georgiorian tried to get that one over to Arcatava. She just couldn't field it cleanly, but now she picks up an errant pass from the Rams and gets it to Tony Martinez. Martinez now will be tracked by Zanoni. Now she can't get below that restraining line, so Natalie Hudgens will keep an eye on 22 in white as the Hawks get the ball over to the near side to Ellie Post. Post to Georgiorian, Pettigrew, Niebler, Arcatava. They thought about going to Martinez. Oh, and then the pass from Arcatava turned over, and then they're going to get a green card on Niebler. Yellow card. So yellow card on Niebler. As that ball was turned over by Arcatava. So another player up scenario, and they're going to get another foul and another card, and that one on Tony Martinez. Green card on Martinez, so Hawks piling up the players in the penalty area. Yellow card for Niebler, green card for Martinez. And a multiple player up scenario here for the Rams. Hudgens over to Zanoni. Back to Zanoni. She'll cut through the shooting area and score. CeCe Zanoni picks up her second goal of the match. It's a player-up goal. And it's a 14-2 lead for the Rams. Cornell goal scored by number 14, CeCe Zanoni. Player-up goal. And now Martinez looking to get some medical attention here. Niebler needs to get to the circle. The Hawks are one short in the circle. So they'll have to take the draw. One player down in the circle as Martinez gets tended to. The cut finger. She has to wait until the draw. And she can join the party. Here's Martinez. Good defense, knocked the ball loose. Oh, and a nice pass from Georgiorian over to Martinez, but she dropped the ball. A turnover by Martinez. Now Greenwald will take it for the Rams. So a lot of back and forth between the Rams and the Scarlet Hawks on that draw. And it'll be Illinois Tech possession. Here's Post. Ellie Post going through a maze of players, finds Iona Pettigrew. Pettigrew and Hudgens racing. Pettigrew gets inside the zone. So again, when the Hawks look to get the ball upfield quickly, usually get it over to number 5 in white and she'll deliver. That time she got it into the attack zone for the clear. Here's Niebler. Izzy Niebler trading places there with Martinez, but good recovery made by Hudgens as she stayed right with Niebler on the switch. Now Martinez. Martinez looking to get it into Niebler. Now cutting is Pettigrew and taking it wide. 37 seconds on the shot clock. Niebler setting the pick, and covering there is Madeline Sheets. Martinez finds Post. Post unable to corral that one. And it'll be Cornell ball. Ava Ferentz. Ferentz. Long pass finding Zanoni. Goes awry, but picking up the loose changes Haley Sealer for the Rams. And Sealer will loft it back over to Meg Lewis. Lewis feeding it inside. Shot score for Zanoni on the feed from Lewis. Cornell goal scored by number 14, CeCe Zanoni. Assist number 9, Meg Lewis. So it's a 15-2 lead for Cornell. And we'll go to the circle again. Georgiorian and Lewis. Draw. Niebler. Overrun by Lewis. And they're going to give possession to the Rams. Hudgens. Over to Zanoni. Lewis up top of the arc. Feeding it inside. Shot, score. Same pairing again. Zanoni from Lewis. They strike again, 16-2 the Rams. Cornell goal scored by number 14, CC Zanoni. Assist number 9, Meg Lewis. Timeout, Illinois Tech. Illinois Tech timeout. Food. We'll take a timeout with them. You're watching Illinois Tech Women's Lacrosse on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Back at Stuart Field, 16-2 lead for the Cornell College Rams over the Illinois Tech Scarlet Hawks here in Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Women's Lacrosse action, or NACtion if you will. To the circle once more, Georgiorian and Lewis. They've been in that dot all day long, and it's a draw control for CC Zanoni, who's got back-to-back goals. And now she feeds Haley Sealer, and a goal right off the draw for Cornell. Right out of the timeout. That's not what head coach Emily Wasoki was looking for there, but the Rams able to get the goal. Sealer from Zanoni. Cornell goal scored by number 7, Haley Sealer. Assist number 14, CC Zanoni. So Zanoni now, I think that's her 6th assist. Yeah, 6 assists, 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points for CC Zanoni. Having herself a day. is 14 in purple. And the draw will be awarded to Illinois Tech as Georgiorian will bring it in. And slow it down as the Hawks get their offense set up. Iona Pettigrew. 2 goals on the day for the Hawks. One for Izzy Niebler, her 9th of the season, and one for Tony Martinez, her 35th. Here's Georgiorian. Down to 5:50 remaining in the 4th quarter. As Martinez will take it over on the far corner. And once again being fronted there by Natalie Hudgens, who's done a good job defensively on Martinez. She'll change directions there, and Hudgens staying with her all the way, making it very tough to even get a pass through. And now they'll go back to the top of the arc in Georgiorian. And the pass too high for Akutava. And that's going to be picked up by Ilsa Jeffrey. So a turnover by Georgiorian and the Hawks, and Jeffrey will get the ground ball and bring it upfield. Long pass finds Sealer. Sealer will cut just below the circle and look to bring it into the attack zone for the clear. Clear for Cornell. Here's Greenwald. Greenwald being guarded there by Aislinn McManus. And she'll hand it off over to Lewis. Lewis feeding it inside to Zanoni. Zanoni battling, lofts it up in the air. Ellie Post going for the ground ball, and they're going to award the ball to Illinois Tech. Ellie Post along the near sideline, spins around. Changes directions, gets past Zanoni. She's got Zanoni right from behind. And now they find Tony Martinez, so a clear for the Hawks. Nice job by Ellie Post to bring that ball upfield along that far sideline, near sideline. Pettigrew's pass picked off by Hudgens, as the intended recipient, I think, was Niebler. But she wasn't able to connect it cleanly. Now they'll get that ball over to Layla Velez. And Velez with the pass up the middle. And pushing the ball upfield there is Elisafe Moreno. But Pettigrew picked up the ground ball. Turnover by Moreno. Now Pettigrew. They're going to get a foul there on Hudgens. So Pettigrew will get the ball on the restart. And they'll get it over to Akutava. Over to Georgiorian. Ellie Post on the near side. Back to Georgiorian, Akutava. Pettigrew. Pettigrew to Niebler. Martinez cuts through. Niebler with a one-on-one there with Hudgens. And Hudgens doing a good job on Niebler as well. Now she's getting double-team action. She'll peel up high. 48 seconds on the shot clock. Pass inside to Pettigrew. She's knocked down. And it should be a free position shot for Iona Pettigrew. It is. So Iona Pettigrew with the free position to the right of Layla Velez. Pettigrew in. Shot. That one. Not sure if Velez got a piece of it, but she picks up the ground ball, so unsuccessful free position attempt for Pettigrew and the Hawks. Now here's a clear for Zanoni and the Rams as she feeds it inside, trying to get it over to Greenwald. Ball is loose. Simano battling for it. Greenwald gets it back, but she's double-teamed as pressure being applied there by Isha Leatherwood. Now they'll go over to Moreno. Moreno hands it back over to Zanoni. Zanoni will take it up high, 44 seconds on the shot clock, a minute and a half remaining in the game. Here's Zanoni, and she goes down. And it looks like we'll have a free position attempt for CC Zanoni. This will be just to the left of goalkeeper Mercy Godfrey. Bounce shot, that one goes well wide. And that's going to be Illinois Tech ball on the restart as McManus will push it over to Godfrey. 43 seconds remaining as the final seconds tick down here. 17-2 lead for the Cornell Rams. And they'll improve to 6-0 in the conference. Oh, a big collision there between Niebler and Jeffrey on that pass attempt. Now Martinez picks up the ball. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Martinez has the ball knocked loose, and that was Zanoni. And now Zanoni will bring it into the offensive zone. She loses possession, picked up by Ellie Post. Players going down left and right here in the final seconds. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. I don't think Ellie Post sees it. He just fires the shot. Doesn't even qualify as a save, however, as the time winds down. And Cornell Rams come to Stuart Field, and they'll go away with a 17-2 victory over the Scarlet Hawks to remain undefeated in the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference. Well, that'll do it for our first broadcast. Remember, the Illinois Tech men's lacrosse team will be coming up here. Well, we'll figure out what that start time is. We've changed it from 3 to 4, but I don't think it's going to go off at 4. So it'll probably go sooner than that, but either way, figure in the next 30 to 45 minutes, we'll have the start of the men's lacrosse game against Cornell. And again, that's senior day, and we'll bring the senior day festivities to you coming up here on the Scarlet Hawks Broadcast Network. Again, your final score, Cornell 17 and Illinois Tech 2. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in about 30 minutes or so.